Welcome to Surrounded by Sports. I'm Kevin Perkins, and I am here at Booker T. Washington's last practice before the head off to the state tournament. They will be playing on Wednesday. Lucky to be here. Appreciate it. Thank you so much to Sideline Sports Bar, McCory Homes, and Faust Builders for allowing me to chase knowledge wherever I can find it. And today I will chase knowledge with the Lady Wildcats and one fantastic head coach, Jade Brown. All that and more after this.
You are watching Surrounded by Sports, a podcast hosted by Kevin Perkins. This show emphasizes how sports and life intersect while showcasing the Gulf Coast. And now, Surrounded by Sports.
Folks, welcome back. We are here with Coach Jade Brown. First of all, how excited are you right now as you're heading off to the
I'm just
state?
ready to get to playing. I'm really excited for the young ladies. I think it's a great opportunity for this group that hasn't experienced this. I haven't experienced it as a coach, but I have had the opportunity to make this trip as a player. So I know how excited we were. Again, I'm just really excited for our girls. I'm just ready for the game to come so we can get the ball rolling. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. We're here at practice. Tell me, how do you think the team has evolved since about mid-season?
I think we're steady. We have been steady stacking days, stacking days, and I think each game we've grown some within this marathon of a season. So I think probably some of our biggest growth has been understanding who we're playing, because every game is going to be a little different. You know, you're not going to have the same game plan, but your principles are going to remain the same. Your standards are going to remain the same. So I think there have been, some games where we've had some, I would say, large margins, but it still wasn't a great game. So I think we're finally starting to understand, like, if we want to be a great team, we got to start doing things a little bit better. And I felt like, especially probably the second half towards the season, we started doing some things in an elite way, especially on the defensive end.
Right, absolutely. You're really locked in on the defensive end. What do you mean when you say process-driven team?
Trusting what's right there in front of us.
Right.
Like, what's right there in front of us, what we're able to do, and how we're able to do it. And process-driven, in my opinion, means that you don't look too far ahead. You stay focused on the road. It's almost like driving a car. Like, you can't be looking too far ahead or you're going to miss your turn.
Right.
So I think for us it's been, let's stay focused on what has got us here. What works for us, not what necessarily works for you as an individual, but what works for this team. Mm-hmm. So process-driven and not result-driven, because a lot of times we'll get caught up in, especially in sports, the end and the end result. You can't get to the end unless you go through those steps. Right. So I think for us, it's just been, hey, stay focused on what we can see right now. We always say this, no matter who we're playing, the next game is the most important game. Right. There's nothing, I know we get circled on a lot of people's schedule and people say, how you play such and such, but we still had a mentality going into Wednesday. This game is the most important game because it's the next game on our schedule. Mm-hmm. So just staying focused on what's in front of us and not getting too caught up in the results that could be if you do things the right way.
Right. Now, Shemaya told me earlier that she thought maybe one of the turning points, it could have been Nyla that said it, but she thought maybe one of the turning points in the season was you opened up the gym early for them to come get shoot around.
Yeah, and we've been doing that for some years now.
Right.
But there were a couple of times where I kind of made it a little mandatory, and we do it. We've done it every game day. Right. But there were some times where we felt like we really needed to focus on some things because in a practice setting, especially at the high school level, a lot of people don't understand this. At the high school level, when you're practicing, it's about the team. Mm-hmm. So we don't have a lot of time within our 2-hour span to work on Shemaya's individual skill set, Jada's individual skill set, or splitting up guard post, not as much as we want. So when we would come up in the morning, it wasn't, there were a few days where I was like, everybody got to be here. Right. But most of the time it is, who wants to be here? I'm going to be here in the morning. Open the gym up with whoever's in here. We're going to work on things that fulfill your game. Mm-hmm. We split some of them up into 3 groups, 3 groups of 4 groups of 3, just really honing in on their individual skill set, because in a team setting, team practice, you don't get a lot of time to do that. You got to work on, team stuff to be prepared to beat a team. So we've been doing that for a while now, and I think, but again, there were days where I was like, hey, everybody better be here because we need some extra free throws. I think it might have been the Niceville game. I think we did 100 free throws that morning. That was the best shooting free throw percentage we had. And it's just little things, just give them that opportunity because young people don't have a lot of opportunities to go in the gym and just work out and do things. And we're here in the morning. It's not our typical practice. I'm not drilling you. I'm really trying to work with you and get better, help you get better at little bitty things that I think can take your game to the next level.
Right. She said the trust with one another on offense kind of begin to grow as you guys were able to do that in the morning.
Well, just working, we would take a play, and within a play, we'll make it a drill. Right. So even if it's just, all right, we got to catch and rip through and kick. So now, because you're not really used to doing the game, because you've repped it a couple times, now you're ready to knock that shot down. So I think I agree with her. There are certain things that we would do the morning of a game that you would see that it would come to fruition on game day.
That's how that works, right? When I watch your team play, especially this club, it's not common for the right person to always, like, you don't always knock down the open look, but the right person seems to always take the shot.
I think that's just these young ladies believing in each other. Right. And as you said, trusting each other, but also, and I've said this to anybody that talks to me, they really care about each other. Mm-hmm. So, we watch our Knicks and we can tell when Kat is mad about something, right? Or mad at somebody. Right. You can see those things on a team. Mm-hmm. And to me, I haven't noticed it from this group where you feel like they're not making the extra pass. Like they want to see a teammate be successful. So I think it's just who they are as young ladies. They're really, I know people look at our record and say we're a good team, but we really have some good young ladies. And I think that makes a difference. They're really stand-up individuals in our school. Mm-hmm. They're wonderful people. I think their parents have done a tremendous job with them. So I don't take credit for who they are as young ladies, but I think it carries over on the court.
Right, 100%. So I think this is strange. I told Shemaya, one of the neater things for me is this year has been able to watch the national anthem and see her and her brother singing. Yeah. A lot of coaches wouldn't trust their best player or their star player to do that before a game, but before a regional. It's one thing when you're playing with it, but you trust completely, right? 100%. In her ability to be dialed in.
And 100%. I mean, Shemaya is different. Yeah. She's a generational young lady. Mm-hmm. And the interesting thing is her voice didn't just come overnight. She's been able to sing since she got here. Right. And we would always tease her like, sing. So I think for me to see her sing now in this moment on the biggest stages that we've had this season is a test to how much she has grown. Her freshman and sophomore year, you weren't gonna get Shemaya out here to sing. Right. That wasn't gonna happen. No matter how much I wanted her to do it, or Coach Jordan, he's been the biggest push for it. Like he told her, he's like, you're gonna sing your senior year. Right. And now it's like she can't stop singing. And I love it because I think it allows everyone else to see who else she is. She's not just a basketball player. Right. She's so much more than that. And I support our athletes doing other things in our school. Right. I don't want them just to be basketball players here. I don't want them just to be known for that. And so now individuals see Shemaya on the court and then they're like, oh, that's the same Shemaya that sings? Like I've had people, because our course, they just got straight superiors and they've been going to churches and different events and singing. And so people that have recognized her from the court are now like, oh, that's Shemaya that plays basketball. So for me, it's just, I just really love that people are able to see the diversity amongst our young ladies. And she's one of them. We have a lot of them that do different things here on campus. So for me, not only is it a trust, but people have to be, I think as coaches now, you got to let kids do other things. Like we can't pigeonhole them. Uh-huh. And I really just want our athletes and anybody that plays here for me to understand I'm going to support you in whatever else you want to do. Like it's not just about basketball here.
Right. You know that, or do you know that you are not not everybody that's a boss is like you. I mean, and why I say that is I've talked to a lot of people about you just because you come up. Obviously, you're successful and all, but I've also I have a couple of people that work with me that went to school here and had you as a teacher, and you never seem intrusive. You always seem inclusive. You always you have a Pied Piper thing about you. Like, come on, we're going to do this. Is that stem from your family, your mom and dad? Do you know where that comes from?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
because you want everybody to do better around you.
I've just always been that type of person. I played the point guard position.
Sure.
So I think a lot of it comes from like, did I want to score points? Yeah. But I'll be honest with you. My most exciting times as a point guard is when I got 10 assists and 0 turnovers.
Yeah.
Like, I love passing my teammates the ball. Like, Tim Corby, that's my good friend who played at Auburn. We went to junior college together. Like, I knew that Tam was always at the floor. I love passing and seeing her hitting the three. So I think a little of it, of course, my parents and how they raised me, but I genuinely just like seeing people succeed. Like, I really love it. I mean, I didn't have to score 10 points, but if I can get 10, 15 assists a game, I was so happy because I want to drop a dime like magic. I want everybody to be excited and happy. Right. So, and even in this role, I mean, it's something I think I struggle with, and I have for a long time, is that as a coach, you want it so bad for them.
Right.
And you can't want it more than them.
Right.
And I think that's one of my areas of struggle, is that I think at times I want it more than you. Like, and I can't want it more than you. And I have to remind myself that they're not me. Not in the facet of like, I was this all-star player, but they gotta want it. They've got to be hungry and want it. But for me, like seeing an and one, seeing somebody just a nice play, I just like seeing people be successful, especially like even our athletes here at school. Right. I mean, there's a picture of during some of the football games. You see me running down the sideline as our guys are scoring touchdowns, and I just love seeing people be successful, and I have a good circle around me that feels that way about me. So I just like seeing people be great, man. That's it. I don't know, something about seeing people succeed. It makes me happy.
Have you noticed that about this club? Whenever one of them does something good, there is like a second or two where they are so elated for their teammate, and then they snap right back in.
Yeah, I mean, look at the pictures that Mr. Jeff he takes of the team. Yeah. And to me, those are some of my favorite pictures. Is where the team is just everybody's up, or and it's just those. To me, that's what separates a team. But it's also something that we've talked about, staying committed, like through adversity, through the triumphs. But when you're able to genuinely celebrate your teammate, it just makes the game a lot easier.
Right. And you don't have to worry about this group on it.
Nah. They love each other. They really do. They get after it, and we have a good time. I enjoy coaching them. I push them, and a lot of times I think people may see us coaching and may not understand the difference between passion and emotion. Right. Emotion is what you get when you have no discipline. Okay. Passion is what you exuberate when you love something. Right. There's a big difference. Right. And when you're not disciplined, your emotions can take over. Mm-hmm. And that's what you don't want. Right. And it's okay to show emotion, but you got to know when to show it. Right. But if you're consistent in what you love, the passion will always overshadow the emotion.
Right. Okay, so sidebar as we're wrapping right here. I watched your interview with Trip. Okay.
I love Trip.
Yeah, but the interesting, every time I watch you talk, I wind up taking notes, and it has nothing to do with the fact that I may interview you later. It's because as a person who manages people, you say things that I think can help me in my life. You know what I mean? You're really good.
I try, but a lot of it comes from, so I think I've said this before, maybe you or even Trip. I do read quite a bit, and this year my goal is to read at least some type of leadership book a month. So I'm on my second one now, but reflecting, and I got this from John Maxwell. I went to see him speak when he came here to Pensacola, and he said, experience or reflection is the best teacher. So I journal a lot throughout the season, but every experience that I have, especially probably my AD role a little bit more than my coaching role, is I try to reflect back and say, how would I want to be handled if it was flip-flop? Mm-hmm. Or in something that I read this book this year. we read a book as a team. Of course, we do that every year. We read John Gordon's 7 Commitments to a Great Team. But as we read that, I was reading another book that one person here on campus that a lot of people don't know, Coach Anka, I think, is probably one of the most emotionally intelligent people I know. We share a lot of ideas off each other in different books. He told me about this book titled Kids These Days. And after reading that book, I was in my feelings.
Yeah, right.
Because there was a quote in there that said, would you want to be coached by you? And so you sit back and you think like, yeah, but kids these days, would they want to be coached by you? So that's something that I kind of really, there were several times in that book where I kind of just sat there and I pondered. I'm like, am I being transformative or transactional? And sometimes both are needed, and trying to understand which one is needed at what time. So I think for me, in order to continue to grow, I have to continue to put myself in positions to grow. I've got to continue to read. I've got to continue to, self-reflect, find leadership books, because there is like parenting. I'm not a parent, but I know you are. I think every parent would tell you there's no perfect recipe to parenting. It's a lot of trial and error. And I think in coaching, it's a ton of trial and error. I've read books from the first person I actually know about Trust the Process was Dean Smith. One of the first books I read, The Carolina Way. I've read Nick Saban books. I've read Pat Summitt books. I'm reading a Don Staley book. But then I just sometimes will get just a leadership book that has nothing to do with athletics, just to figure out, okay, what type of leader would you want to serve under? Right. And I think also, honestly, I've been very fortunate to work. I've been here for 16 years. I've only worked for 2 bosses, Dr. Michael Roberts and Mr. Shackle, Rick Shackle. And I think, I've only been here, so I can't compare, but I think I have had, and Mr. Shackle, he's there, two individuals, and this is how I try to model myself, honestly, especially in my athletic director role. They have never made me feel like I work for them.
Right.
They both have always made me feel like I work with them. So a lot of times my coaches are on campus will tease me like, hey, boss. I'm like, guys, I'm not your boss. We work together. My job is to help you, to ease things for you, make things better. So I think you are who you're around. And as a leader, you take from everybody. And I think I've been blessed to work for 2 amazing administrators, and also our assistant principals here too. They've been awesome. So I think it's just a lot of reflecting, honestly. If I could be really honest with you, Kevin, just like reading and reflecting and saying like, who is it that you want to be? Like, and I saw this quote actually today. I think it was either yesterday or today. And it said something about like, when you're finished, I don't want you as a player to like me right now. I want you to love me years later.
Right.
And that's what I want. Like, I know some of the things that I say and how I say it, they're not going to always like it. Guess who else doesn't always like it? Mom and daddy. Yeah. And I'm okay with that. But years later, for you to come back and say, man, I needed that. Right. That's what it's about for me. It's not the moment right now. It's the years later. And our young ladies that leave here, and I always take a lot of pride when they leave here and they come back and they say things such as, oh, that practice ain't got nothing on Booker T. Because for me, like, then you're prepared. I would be more concerned if they came back and said, Coach Brown, that was so hard, man. Well, you can tell me nothing like that. So I just try to take my experiences and try to share what I've gone through. And like I said, I'm a work in progress. Every single day, I'm trying to understand how I can better serve. And I think that's the mindset that I have as a coach and as an AD. How can I serve? Like, how I am a servant leader. I want to serve our students. I want to serve our faculty here, our coaches, my players. How can I serve? How can I make you better? So it's no secret. It's just, I'm just trying to get better every day myself. And if I want my players to get better, I have to get better. Right. So a lot of self-reflecting and praying. Oh gosh, I pray so much.
But a lot of that too is being receptive to input.
Yeah.
And you're receptive to input. You search it out. Yeah. And also like your assistant coaches, you take input from. You take input from your players as well.
Oh yeah, you have to. And I talk to different coaches a lot. I talk to a lot of my good friends who are also. I have quite a few friends who are leaders in other roles. So I would ask them things like, how did you navigate this? Or I would say, before I make what may seem to be maybe make a drastic decision, I'll call and say, hey, I just disconnect yourself as somebody that you know. Like I'm calling for advice, and that's something that my circle we do a lot. Like disconnect the emotional ties. Like you don't know me like that right now. Am I doing this right?
Right.
And you need people to hold you accountable and say, well, do you really need to say that? Do you really need to send that email? Do you really need to do that? So I really attested to my circle as well. You know, outside of my parents, I have a great circle of individuals who are in some great places in their lives, and they're able to help me make some decisions when I feel like I need a little help. And I think one person that I communicate with a lot as well is Coach Ward. Like we'll talk a lot. Just as I love Coach Ward. Texting yesterday, so just different things. He's somebody that I talked to quite a bit. Me and myself and Coach Jordan, we got on the phone with him like immediately before we got started prepping last week. Kind of just talk about his experience,
because he won state.
He won it. Yeah, he won it. So we just hey, how did you navigate this? This is what we got set up for the week. Like, what do you think? And so it's good to be able to have somebody like a Charlie Ward
right.
to talk to. I mean, it's not a lot of times you can call Charlie Ward,
right.
and he's in Atlanta. He's on a plane they were sitting in the airport coming back from Louisiana, I think. So he had time. He's like, yeah, call me Sunday, and we chatted for a good little while, just kind of picking his brain, asking advice, and he's also a prayer warrior. So you got to have people like that on your side.
Right. Right. Good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's honestly, like I told you, it's people like you that I feel the genuineness from, I feel the support from, and if it weren't for individuals like yourself, a lot of things wouldn't be getting out for not just our young ladies, but around here. So I know that this isn't something that's a money maker for you, but we appreciate you. I appreciate you tremendously, and you're my Knicks brother, so that's always a plus. But what you do for the community, it doesn't go unnoticed. We're able to share your stuff, and I think a lot of people love seeing your content, because some people don't get to see this type of stuff. So I appreciate you coming out and chatting with our girls and being a supporter. I know you're a neutral person, but I know you're also a great supporter of this program. And I just want to say thank you.
I don't have a neutral bone in my body when it comes to anything.
I really.
Thank you so much, folks. Thank you very much for watching. This is Jade Brown. This is where I got to seek knowledge from today. I got to enjoy this practice and wish you guys the best in the next couple of days. And I will see you when you get back.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Who we be, right?
Yes, sir.
Welcome back, folks. I am here with
Kaylin Thomas, Jada Clarity.
And Jada Clarity has saved me embarrassment already today, which tells you what kind of a contributor she is. You guys are perimeter players. Now, your swing players, technically, what position do you guys play?
Guard.
Okay.
Combo guard.
But you jump center.
Yeah. Right.
And you block a lot of shots.
Yeah, so 3 to 5.
Okay, so last game, I'm standing underneath that basket over there, and Shemaya's got a girl kind of hemmed up, and you blocked the shot from behind, and it was not a foul, but it was called one. You recall this?
Yeah, I do recall that.
Okay. I was incredibly impressed by the way you just turned around and acted like it was cool and went about your business.
Yes, sir. I had to.
Is that hard for you to do?
Yes, it is, honestly, because I know that wasn't a foul, but, just got to keep playing.
You got to keep playing.
Yeah.
The thing I notice most when I watch you guys play is every moment that something good happens, the 4 people around the person that did something good are way happier than the person who just did it.
Right. Yes, because we all want to see each other win, so that's what we got to do.
Right.
Yeah, it's just like we all put in this hard work and it's finally paying off, and we love seeing each other happy. So it's like in that moment, we're just all teed up, like we're just turned.
Yeah, 100%. Now, Ms. Thomas, how has the team evolved from like mid-season to now? Because it seems like you're just clicking on all cylinders right now.
Yeah, at the beginning, we were kind of off. We weren't all together. And I feel like as time went on, we all progressed together and still evolved together. Like we're unselfish, we want to see each other thrive and win. So I think that was a pretty big deal. Like us just coming together till now. That was a big factor. We're just being together throughout the whole process.
Are we talking about just trust?
Yes. Most definitely. I feel like we definitely trust each other more now. We see what it takes to get where we at right now.
How excited are we for the rest of the week?
We are excited.
So excited. Like this is where we need to be at.
Yes.
We definitely deserve to be here. So we more than excited. We ready.
Is this you're a sophomore, you're a junior, correct?
Sophomore, I'm sophomore.
You're both? The future is so bright.
Honestly, yeah, it is.
Yeah, but right now is right now. It's time to do it.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right. Thank you so much for giving me your time. I appreciate you both. Folks,
Yes, sir.
these guys are wonderful. Folks, I have two more Lady Wildcats with me. Your name?
Riley Smith.
Amari Hall.
Amari Hall. And so last game, I thought one of the biggest moments in the ball game was your end one. Do you remember what I'm talking about? You're on the ground, and
Yes.
I think either Brooks or Thomas comes running behind. You probably didn't see it because you're on the ground. But the people in my periphery, the people I'm looking at around you, were so excited. You could see like it felt like you guys feel like a team. Does that make sense to me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. And did you realize how big a moment that felt like when it happened?
Yes.
Right? When you see that cut, do you know if it's open for you, they're going to give it to you?
Yes.
Right. Well, I see a lot of, I don't know if you guys know this, but so a lot of people wouldn't make that cut, but it doesn't matter because they know you'll get it done. Right?
Right.
Yeah, right, exactly. And you do get it done. And your defense in the last ball game was incredible. Did you know going in that you had a tough assignment and it was to lock down?
Yes, sir. I did. I always know when I have a tough assignment. I'm always ready for it.
Right. Do you know you move differently than most even good athletes?
Yes, sir.
Right. I mean, you literally float into the positions you're supposed to be in a way that most people. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do agree.
I mean, you're a very incredible young athlete. You are as well, obviously, right? But I noticed immediately watching your practice earlier in the year how easy it is for you to get from one place to the other when you're defending. Is that something that just comes naturally, or have you worked on lateral movement a lot over the years?
It's natural, but I worked on it over the years as well. The time I've been here. So.
Do you guys work a lot together?
Yes.
Sir.
I feel like that movement comes with being a defensive player.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it comes normal to us with the defense.
You guys work very hard on defense.
Yes, sir, we do.
Absolutely.
Because we already smaller people, so we gotta be able to move and stuff.
And the communication, the trust you guys have in each other at all times, where does that stem from? Working together, or?
Yes, it does. Because at the beginning of the season, we wasn't really like all together as a team, but we built it up. So yeah, we all connected now.
Yeah, I'm going to pick up on what Mari said. At the beginning of the season, we wasn't really, you know how, like, you could tell, like, a team got chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning of the season, we didn't have that. But I feel like as we continue to make progress, we became that team that communicated with each other, even when it was hard, good or bad. I feel like it just takes time for a team to be that to communicate with each other like that. So I feel like it takes time.
There's a difference between wanting chemistry and having chemistry. You can't force it. It has to happen, and it's accumulated over time with you guys.
Right.
Thank you so much for giving me your time. I appreciate y'all so much.
Yeah.
Good luck today. All right, folks, welcome back, and I have with me Nyla Brooks. How you doing, Nyla?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Shemaiah's going to come join us in just a second. She's strolling up as we go. We just finished a tough practice, didn't we?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. So as we're talking about the going into the state tournament, you guys are leaving in just a second or two. One, how has the team transformed over the latter half of the season?
The team, we really just transformed with coming to workouts, believing in each other, trusting one another, and knocking shots down. This year we are having so much success, I believe, because we're leaning more on each other rather than just one player. which is what Coach has been stressing for the whole season. Like the 2 games I set out at the beginning, or I don't even know, probably 5 games or something. Right. I set out at the beginning, I felt like was needed for the team to rely on each other rather than just me, who's known for scoring, and other people just known for like shadowing me. But I don't like that. Like I would rather us just come as a team and all be threats to the next opponent, and that's how we grow.
You're literally one of the most generous, really star players I've seen play in Dome. You told me earlier that the voluntary workouts before school was one of the things that kind of galvanized you guys as a group, right?
Yeah, I would say that brought us together more as far as trusting each other. We knew that all of us, the whole team would come in the morning. We knew that all of us were working in the morning, getting better. We knew that in the games that we could knock down those shots, and we trusted each other more in the game.
Right. Now, the neat thing to me was you kind of had a little bit of a takeover in the last game, right? But it wasn't about you deciding, hey, I'm going to take the ball, blah, blah, blah. It was the ball properly moved to you, and you knocked down the shots.
Yeah, and I think that comes with trust as well, and seeing, like, say Shemaya has a good touch this game, her mid-range is good, I'm going to keep giving it to her on the mid-range. I think we're starting to realize who has a touch, who has a hot hand that game. So we realize that, and we all know together, like, okay, let's keep doing the things that's working until it doesn't work.
Right. One of the more fun things for me when I watch you guys is how excited you get when everyone else does well.
I just like seeing everybody succeed, really, and just to see the growth. Like I emphasize this all the time, even when we have like team meetings or when we early in the year we would have book study. I would get excited because people are just reading out loud, like because that's not them. Like you're an introvert, but to become extroverted in so many ways, or just to grow in some form or fashion, I just get excited when people grow instead of just stay stagnant their life.
Right. You said one of your favorite parts of watching film is to watch the other 4 after the shot.
Yeah, like, yeah, whenever I watch film, to watch, like, everybody's reaction. And Shemaya whenever she's on the court, she's probably the most excited on the court. And really our whole bench is excited. It's just fun watching the game after you play it and see how like, supportive we are for each other.
It's fun for me just to watch you guys. I don't think you guys probably realize how uncommon it is for teams to kind of almost always be taking the right shot and stuff like that. And that is that trust that you guys have worked on together, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir. It's fully that trust, especially, I would say like 2 years ago, Coach Brown was emphasizing stop settling for threes or stop settling for a jump shot. And back then we didn't really know what settling meant. So I think everybody had a problem with not shooting that 3 that they felt was open or just not continuing to run the play. But now, like, since we've grown throughout the program, we figured out like what a good shot looks like, what we need to do to get extra touches. We know, like, if her feet isn't set, she's probably not going to shoot it. Okay, so now we got to keep on moving. I feel like that is the stuff like that helped us realize when to take good shots and what are your shots to take as a person.
One of my favorite things to do right now is this season has been to watch you sing. You know, we talked about this earlier. And it's uncommon. I would think a coach would be like, well, I probably need the double-double, not the soprano alto over here. Right, but there's no way that you're not going to be all dialed in. You've worked too hard at this point.
Yeah. I feel like that's another thing that I worked on ever since I got to high school, like coming into class and just immediately locking in. Even if my friends are in class, I just started separating myself because I knew that if I can do it here, it'll translate on the court. And it sure enough have, like, every single time. So, like, I've been practicing stuff like that, joining to other clubs, having my head everywhere, but being able to be present in the moment is what I've been trying to lock in throughout my high school journey. So I started chorus for that reason, really, to become more confident, more able to just click here, and just talk to people one-on-one, even when I'm nervous, like, stuff like that, and becoming vulnerable. Right. In a sense, yeah.
You stepping out of your comfort zone so that you can increase how big your comfort zone is.
Yeah. You got to get comfortable with the uncomfortable.
That's right. That's right. Do you feel like you're growing into a leadership role?
Yeah, I would say so. When I first got here, I would probably didn't even want to handle the ball at all, but Coach Brown pretty much knew what I could do, and she really just put me out there and was like, okay, this is what you're gonna do. Like at some point, I had no choice but to get comfortable, and that helped me a lot because, like even in the game, I'm uncomfortable, but eventually I get comfortable. And throughout the season, I just got more comfortable with things that I used to be so uncomfortable with.
And you can see your growth as the season goes on. You're doing so much. You're doing so well. You've never done bad, but you do so well. How excited are you for tomorrow or day after tomorrow?
Extremely excited. Like this is something we've been working for me 2 years since I've been here. Like this is my dream to go to state championship, win state, experience all this. So I'm really excited.
Did you?
I'm super excited, most importantly, to experience it with my best friend and my other friends on the team, like just everybody I'm close with. And this team is just, it's one of a kind, honestly. We've been through ups and downs. We're like any other team, but the thing is we separate ourselves from working just like 3 times as hard as everybody else. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people went throughout this program because they couldn't handle the discipline, the hard work, the effort it takes to just be a Lady Cat. And I feel like I got a lot of pride in that because I put a lot of work into it.
Right.
So, I feel like I'm just so excited to just go through it with this team and these coaches and this coaching staff.
Well, I wish you the best. And I tell you, thank you so much for giving me your time, A. And it's been an absolute privilege to watch you guys grow. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Folks, surrounded by sports.